And hello, my dear friends. Morpheus in the house with you once more. One more time, taking advantage of some macro statistics. You and I, my dear friends, managed to get 100% success rate with regards to the macro statistic for the past 2 months. You and I are winning every single time there is a macro statistics. Chats are open. My boys are in the house as well. We've been actually made like around $8,000 in these couple of months. Not too shabby considering this is a side gig for some of us. And chats are open. Telegram is listed there below if you want to talk to me one on one. Well, without further ado, let's kind of hop in. And today we're going to be looking at the economic calendar. We see that earlier today we had advanced GDP. It was price index GDP. Well, it was, GDP was positive, but it's advanced GDP for United States. There are three of them, three versions of the GDP released a month apart: advanced, preliminary, and final. Advanced is the one that carries a bit more impact on this. All right, so but today we're doing our stream at a usually much later time to be able to take advantage of this federal funds rate. Actually, and we have overnight rate with Canadian government. They decided to keep the interest rates the same. It's been the same since March, right? Before they essentially dropped it in March, this year. So for a couple of months, it stays the same at 275. So it's not really a lot of interest in that. So if we actually, do go to, there we go. No, that's AZAUD. Let's go to Canada and let's take a look what happened. If there's anything that happened, I don't know. Let's take a CAD JPY at 445. So around here, I really wouldn't say that this was anything spectacular. We are seeing there was a spike, a retracement, continuation, and then a little bit of a retracement as well. I think that in like 2 minutes, it all played out. It's a minute graph. So in about 2 minutes, it did do this kind of like a sell signal right here. If you look in the real market, we got also crossing of the zero line. We got crossing of the ADX with the signal, MACD with the signal line, but ADX was dropping down at this time, and I wouldn't have said that there was actually a trending move, perhaps. So nothing like that. Anyways, we're gonna leave Awesome Oscillator here today because we did talk about its utilization yesterday. We talked about a saucer kind of situation, and I don't know, with CAT JPY, I'm not really seeing many of these situations right now. There's inverse saucer right here, so on the second or third bar, we could have considered a sell. We look at other positions that other indicators with regards to ADX has got, going upwards with the negative DI. We got parabolic, we got crossing, we got crossing. So yeah, this would have been like a good time to consider a few sell positions. All right, but yeah, anyway, so today we're going to be looking at the reason, as I mentioned, we're doing this much later than usual, is to take advantage of the United States federal funds rate, which is going to be released, as you can see, in about 5 minutes and 20 plus seconds. The reason, okay, so there's also going to be a statement. The statement is, kind of released at the same time. There's analysis that's being done by computers based on keywords, probably with AI right now tuned in as well, that momentarily, in like a split second is able to actually summarize and essentially tell you if this is going to be good, in, good situation, and essentially the dollar could be reacting based on both of these things. And in about half an hour afterwards, we're still going to be keeping an eye out on the dollar because we're going to see the press conference impact potential. Right, press conference. It's essentially it's the questions from the press. And if we go, if we take a look at the previous, right, if we take a look at this, the history since December of 2024. So we're in the, essentially, well, this Friday, tomorrow, no, Friday, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. Friday, it's going to be already NFP. It's going to be August. So from December 18th, essentially 7 months, the interest rates are staying the same at 450. All right, so there could be some hard questions depending on how Jerome Powell answers. He seems to be, he's been at this post for a while, and well, I don't know if you can gauge a person's competence or not. It's just that I know that this person can say something that seemingly is good news, but with such a tone where you're kind of left scratching your head, be like, was this good? Or, I mean, he said good things, but I'm not feeling good about them. All right. So, anyways, this is something that worth keeping an eye out as well. And today, after the interest rate decision, we're going to be, taking a look at the alligator. We're going to add an alligator in here. Actually, majority of our indicators are trend-based. I do like the trend is your friend kind of mentality. And yeah, with Awesome Oscillator yesterday, just to summarize, right, we had essentially whenever it crosses the zero line, we got, maybe other indicators confirming this. In this case, we have parabolic switching here. We had fractal on this candle saying buy as well. We had ADX kind of like about around 20% here, so it showed that it could go further. And we have this interesting situation where well, not interesting, but a good sign when the lines of MACD and signal line crossing the zero line right here. And it kind of stayed sideways right here. This is like a really crappy kind of situation to be trading in. But essentially, because you didn't really even know where it's going to go up or down or up. Here it started to rise a bit. Right? Same thing here with the Awesome Oscillator. They got kind of the same signal, similar signals. I mean, it's like comparing to me. It's like comparing an Audi with the Mercedes, right? They're essentially the same thing, but people do have preferences in this regard. So anyways, it is above. It's touching a couple of times. It's still above. So we kind of still understand that it should be a generally upward bullish momentum. It is real market, euro dollar. We're not going to do pending trades right now. I highly doubt that there's going to be a kind of reason to expect like a 30-40 pip movement. I bet this is going to be somewhere around 10, maybe 15. So we got, as keep hopping back and forth here. There we go. In 1 minute and 20 seconds. So when this candle's over, at the end of the following candle, we're going to see reaction. Now I'm going to put it to, we usually do multiplier of 2. We go aggressive, right? Because well, right now with the USD, I don't think that there's any more profitable. Yeah, there's no more profitable currency pair. So euro dollar, we got 81%. So in 50 plus seconds, we're gonna have the release, and we could expect a reaction. So it is the most important theoretically, the most important thing that is presented, as a gauge of economic health. It's the interest rates, where they're going to be raised. That's a good thing for the currency. If it's going to be lowered, that's a bad thing for the currency. Anyway, so there we go. We got this candle. There's a bit of jerky motions over here. So I'm going to start with a 50 today, though. Not 100, not 200, because this is still kind of subjective. So let's see. There we go. I don't know what's going to happen, right? So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is there? And is there going to be anything? Seems like no. All right, there we go. We got a spike. I'm going to open for a retracement, and I forgot to set this up a little bit better. All right, so we got 100. Yeah, I'll take 100 right here. And now we're going to go to 300. And stay, but I think that we should win here already. All right, so we got 1480, and the highest board is 1489. So as I said, yeah, in this case it moved by approximately 10 pips, as I said. Okay, so let's see if maybe if it's going to go up a little bit higher, perhaps. So since this is 60-second countdown, I can essentially say that I got another about like, right now, about I got 10 seconds or so. Maybe, no, maybe less. Right, probably another 10 seconds from now before the positions are closing. There we go. There seems, so I'm probably going to win the second position, but, maybe even the first one right now. Yep, there we go. All right, so we're looking like we're going to be in the money, but it's just a question of what. All right, so all right, so 82%. We've made our, made our money. There we go. All right, so that's it. That's it, my friends. We still money. Yeah. We're still 100% success rate over the course of 2 freaking months. That's like an incredible kind of result, in my opinion. I keep saying that we're due for market to do something stupid, or I'm sorry, to market to do something illogical, so that we will lose one of the positions. It's not going to be 100% success rate, but this is what I'm trying to convey to every single one of you, right? If you're watching this video, understand you don't need like some sort of super complicated technical analysis. You don't need massive amount of time in front of computer. You don't need, to read upon, just basic concepts to understand. Why was there a spike? Because we understood there's not a surprise. There's a real reason why, we're expecting a bunch of people, the biggest economy in the world. We understand why. We understand exactly at what time, right down to the second, that there's going to be a particular situation happening that a lot of people will be interested in, and they should be reacting to this by opening positions. Essentially, they're affecting the supply and demand principles. There it is. All right, and as I said, right, the lowest point of this is an approximation because there might be like a pipette difference here, but 1480 and 1490. That's, what did I say? I said right before, I don't expect a big movement. 10, maybe 15 pips. That's it. There it is right there, euro dollar. You've seen it here with Morpheus. A bit of the red pill. This is not magic. This is not difficult. All right. Yes, it doesn't mean that you're going to be opening 20 positions per, per 15 minutes. You actually might be opening like 20 positions per month. But I keep coming back to this. I keep trying to tell the truth, and not many people are hearing this. Thankfully, I have very big experience talking to people over the past 12 years, working with the VIPs. I actually had like over 4,000 people under my care, and trying to, kind of present. The biggest enemy of you making money is your impatience. Right? When we see the 80, some percent right there, right above, on the screen, 79%. Now, when we see this profitability and we understand that we can open at any given moment and in 5 seconds there's going to be a result, it pushes you to do certain positions that might not have a legitimate reason. But as I keep, showing you, 2 months in a row, 100% success rate, this isn't pre-recorded. Right now, right this moment, if you click on Pocket Option link, you will be able to see this graph. You'll be able to talk to me live. And I'm hoping that some of you will start telling this to your friends and anybody who's going to be looking, to make money as a side income. Right now, it's so popular. It's getting popular to, because it becomes, technology becomes available. I mean, I got an Android. I got an iPhone. Right, we got access to internet pretty much anywhere, right? I mean, in any country there is an ability to, go to a cafe because ahead of time when a particular situation is going to be unfolding that's interesting enough, and you just take 2-3 minutes, buy a Starbucks right now, man. Go to internet cafe. Log into any Forex calendar or economic calendar, and you will see the schedule. It's free. And essentially, when people are opening a position, they're buying, right? And when they're closing position, they're selling. And the supply and the demand principles are affected. And this is exactly what I keep telling you and proving to you on the daily basis, on the weekdays. We cover all of these things, and I do discuss them ahead of time. And you are able to, talk to me directly with no BS, with no pressure, with no obligations. Let's talk about this. Let's turn this into a dialogue and get you the information you need. You want some Bugatti? Well, why is it not a dream? It's not my dream. If truth be told, I want a big 4 by, I got my big 4x4. I make my dreams come true. But just, I'm not asking for that to be immediate, So you have goals. Let's talk about how to achieve them. This is something that's done completely free, with no pressure, no obligations. You're not gonna, you're gonna feel like you make a buddy instead of, like talking to a teacher or something. So touch base with me, obviously sign on to the channel, don't miss these things because as I mentioned, I prove to you, I'm not BSing, follow me, I'll give you signals. None of that crap. We're giving you direct knowledge that you're able to utilize, and based on live examples that I'm showing you and explaining you, in live format, which is much more difficult than me just sitting in front of a computer and then waiting for 15, 20, 30 minutes without opening a position. But because it isn't a live stream, we sometimes take positions that are a little bit more, not substantiate, substantial reason for that, right? So anyways, tell your friends, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, turn this into a dialogue. You want to make money? I'm proving to you that this is possible with binary options on daily basis. Been doing this for such a long time, and this is something that I burn with like deep passion for. Make money work for you instead of you for the money, no matter where you are in the world. All right, so let's take a look. Tomorrow we got we got the United States, employment cost index. Anytime there is a statistic that deals with employment, like non-farm is hands down the most popular macro statistic. This month in July, I think it was like 69 pips. Right, ridiculously massive impulse, massive candle. We made some good money with the impulse, right? Because we did pending trades and with the retracement as well, right? So you can take a look at the previous videos. Again, this is not done pre-recorded. This is something that's done live. Get in the chats. Talk to me right now. Certainly is, going to make things a lot more interesting and exciting. But anyways, tomorrow we got employment statistic, employment cost index. Now, I don't often take advantage of it, but I keep saying to everybody that if the country that we're looking at, whether it's Britain, whether it's, I don't know, Canada, the United States, certain countries in Europe like Germany and France, we're looking at, essentially when people are comfortable spending money, when consumers are spending money, the economy grows. When consumers are scared, right? Because they're not certain if they're going to be laid off tomorrow. They're not going to buy new patio furniture, like I keep often saying, or thinking about a new refrigerator. They're going to say, you know what, I'm not going to, make, kind of silly expenses. I'm not going to make, bad choices. I'm going to wait. I'm going to, hold on to my money and spend it very frugally, just in case some, things hit the fan. Right, so that's why tomorrow we are going to talk about employment. We're going to take a look at a reaction in the market for employment cost index. And, if we kind of click on this, I'm using Forex Factor, but you're able to use like investing.com and I think like Wall Street Journal has also an economic calendar. So, all right. So anyways, why do traders care? It's a leading indicator, consumer inflation, right? Employment cost index. If you are a person that gets a salary, if you're employed, you're not gonna, stuff that thing in the mattress and you're gonna, you're gonna spend it. You got utilities, you got bills, you got, loans, you got food, entertainment. So you're gonna spend that salary. And when you spend money, you're essentially expanding the economy. And when businesses pay more for labor, the higher costs are usually passed on to the consumer. So essentially, right, the actual greater than forecast, it's good for the currency. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow at usual time, we usually do streams at 3:30 to 1600, 4 o'clock p.m. on, when there's... well, actually, Canadian and United States usually, also kind of release at the same time. But if there's no macros, we usually do it on, with the technical analysis also around 6 o'clock. So our viewers in America are able to touch base and relate. Anyway, so, and Friday, of course, at 3:30, as you can see, we got the most popular macro statistic of the month. There's actually, wow, wait a second. I just noticed that, right? So also worth keeping an eye on. So we're talking about a, drastic prediction for a drop, right? So 147,000 new jobs in comparison to the previous month, right? This is very important. Job creation is an important leading indicator of consumer spending. So if last month new positions were, created on 100 and whatever it was, 147,000 new jobs were created. That's pretty good, right? So it means that you're opening a position, a vacancy, and this is the statistic that gets in here, right? And you would obviously do that when your business is booming, it's thriving, all right? So when we take a look at the history, right, let's take a look, I don't know, maybe from 2024, right? So we had 170, all right? So the highest boom was what? Let's see, 353. I don't really think I see any bigger, right? Yeah, so there we go, 300. So in April 5th, right, 2024, this was the biggest jump. I mean, this was actually massive. I bet you if we go back, if you take a look back at April 5th, 2024, the dollar probably gave you a massive, massive impulse. I bet you this actually came close to 100 pips because the previous month was adjusted from the actual statistic. The previous month was 270. They were expecting a relatively big drop to 212. It came out way bigger, not only bigger than the forecast, but bigger than the previous month. 303,000. It was then later confirmed and adjusted to 315. And there was actually a massive drop afterwards. See, 175,000 is actually pretty freaking good, right? In comparison, because right now we're making, they're predicting a big drop. But if you take a look at the difference in the numbers, all right, it's usually slight. Here we got like 30%, right? So if this was 150 and this was 100, yeah, they're like 50K. So essentially 30% or 33 in that situation, but around 30% difference. So if it comes out at like 108, technically that's good news because it beat the forecast. But it's certainly not going to create a like 80 pip, movement. It's going to create maybe like, I don't know, so like 30 at most, 30, 40. If there's like some sort of massive reaction to that kind of statistic. But if it comes out at like 100,000, it's going to be bad because not only is it lower than the forecast, it's way lower than the previous month as well, and the move could be, once again, that 40, 50 pip movement. So you heard it here first, folks, right? Prophesizing with the Morpheus. Uh, Anyways, that's it. Yeah, Friday is going to be a big day. I'm going to be actually traveling to a different city. So I am going to be on my mobile station tomorrow and on Friday. But this is something that we can't miss. Certainly on Friday, we are going to take advantage of the NFP with pending trades, right? So that we take advantage of not only the retracement, but the impulse itself. So the spike and the retracement, so it doesn't matter whether it's going to spike up or down on the pending trades, we're going to make money. And on the retracement as well, we're also going to make money because the retracement always happens. As long as you can get this approach with proper money management, this is what you're going to get. So coming back, today we made a little bit of money. All right, there it is. So we actually made both, on both positions. So if I would have lost 50, I would have made, the position, 100 is going to be in the money. Essentially $81 minus the 50 that I lost. It would have been like 30 bucks in profit. As it is, we won both, right? So we won, we opened the retracement about here for a 50 and 100. We did pretty good on 100, right? We caught the impulse pretty freaking solid, right? Right at the top of it, right at the very top of this candle. So it was like 10 pip movement, just like I predicted. I think that we opened it exactly on the 10th or like the 9th pip for a retracement. And with regards to a 50, yeah, we opened it, so yeah, it was actually really, really close, right? So it was touching it a couple of times, like I was not going to win it. But yeah, it dipped. So retracement in this situation, as I mentioned, it happens quite often. It happens usually, like I would say, like 95% of the time, it will happen within the first minute. So there is a spike, and imagine you, as a big bank, opened a, let's say, 100 lots of, in forex with, a buy, going long. And each pip in euro dollar equates, depending on the exchange rate, but it equals approximately $10 for every standard lot. All right. So in here, in this situation, 10 pips equals $100 for every standard lot. Right, and so you probably wouldn't want to wait any longer. Like, well, will it go higher? No, you've made money, $100. You multiply it by however many lots you opened. Let's say 10 or 100 or 1,000 or maybe more. And essentially, you're making money. Banks are making big money when you open the standard lot. It's a lot of kind of capital. Well, not really a lot, but it's capital that is felt. Right, it's a bit different to trade in forex, but if you guys ever want to talk about it, reach out to me in Telegram channel. We're gonna explain the details, as I mentioned, with no BS, with no pressure, and no obligations. I love what I do. I love delivering this information to you guys. So do not be shy. Turn this into a dialogue instead of a monologue, and I want to prove to you that you are able to make money without luck. Right, that is based on logical application of math and your statistics. That, I've been doing this for such a long time, been doing this live with you guys every single weekday, and I have 100% success rate with regards to the macro statistics. And, significantly different success rate with the technical analysis, but we're still in profit. Over the past 2 months, we had only two days where we lost a little bit of money. On the first day, it was like $60, and like last week, I believe, right on Thursday, I think we lost $40, right? But we're like $8,000 in profit over the course of previous 2 months, right? So you don't need ideal statistic to be, to be in profit overall. And so coming back to what I keep, saying here, touch base. Let's discuss this. You want to make money. This is actually the fastest way you can make money to get yourself into traditional investing. All right. So anyways, but what I was saying, though, is that in Forex, when you're like a bank and you open, imagine, let's say that the NFP, right, 50 pips. 50 pips, that's $500 with a standard lot, right? So every pip is $10. So its standard lot is 50, 50 pips, $500. But if you had, let's say, 1,000 lots and it shoots up 50 pips, you've just made like thousands and thousands of dollars, and you as a bank, you will close it. And that's why the retracement happens usually on the first minute. It spikes up and then it comes back down. But if the statistic is so overwhelmingly awesome or bad, you could see a spike, like a 5% retracement, and it goes to the next candle, spikes again, and then at that point it starts to retrace a little bit more aggressively. So if I would kind of calculate, I would say that if I would assign a statistic to this, I would probably say like 90 to 95% of the time the retracement will happen in the first minute. On the second minute, it would be like maybe, significantly, skewed statistic. I would say like maybe 20, I don't know, actually much less than that, right? I would say like maybe 5% it would be on the second. And even less, like 0.1% or something would be on the third, right? Statistic has to be jaw-droppingly amazing or like absolutely horrific in order for the statistic to keep climbing and climbing and climbing until there's finally a retracement on like the fourth minute. So in my since I've been doing leveraged instruments since 2012, and I gotta say only a few times, maybe in this like 13 years, I would say that I've seen it maybe like 3-4 times throughout this whole period. That's why we're not going out of bank. Right? We're not putting in like $1,000 as the first position, because I understand the statistics, this is all about probabilities, right? The honest truth about this is that, that no, maybe even a pocket option, if there was like a direct, face of pocket option that you would talk to in support chat or something, they're not going to talk about that. This is all about probability. Higher, lower, there's no 100% guarantee. That's why you can never really think that it's a good idea to open a position that is not justified by the risk. All right. So you wouldn't, I don't know, if you've been saving money for like 20, 30 years, you wouldn't give it to an Uncle Bob and his hot dog business, right? Because it's a higher risk. You would probably think about certain companies like Apple or Amazon or, even Tesla or something, make Elon Musk richer. Anyway, so this is where we need to understand that this is all based on the balance between risk and the potential reward, right? Who can say that, I don't know, maybe you are doing something really, really amazing and $8,000 in the course of 2 months, with a 30 some odd $1,000 starting balance. Maybe it's not really something worthwhile, right? But for most, I think $8,000 as a side income, as a side hustle, I think it's pretty good, right? And nobody says that, you can't make more. It's just that I'm trying to present, when we talk about new indicators, which we're going to do right now, I open positions that are a bit more conservative because this, as I mentioned, live stream can't really wait with you guys because, especially if this is a monologue, can't wait with you guys for like 20, 30 minutes. Nobody's going to be watching the stream. So I do take positions even when I would myself personally would wait. So having said that, let's take a look at alligator. What's up, alligator? All right. And, all right, so alligator consists of, actually, wait a second, I have it here, right, there we go. Alligator consists of, let's take a look, there's jaws, there's shift, it's kind of like divination. Teeth, so there's jaws, teeth, and lips. All right, so there's, certain styles, we can take, this is the end, wait a second. There we go. And we're looking at the periods. So Jaws got the biggest period, 13, right? We got Teeth has got smaller period, with 8, and Lips period is 5. To kind of make sure that we understand, this is very, very reactive, right, settings. See, so if we go to moving averages, because that's exactly what this is. This is 3 moving averages. There we go. We've just set them up. And I'm going to hide the alligator for just a second. And if we go, right, the first one, let it be 10, right? Let it be green. And this is the fastest reacting, because look, it's the closest one to the asset itself. Now, if we take the second one and let's change it into a 20, all right, and this time we're going to make this one red. All right, there we go. And we can see that it's a little bit further, right? Green for a 10 period, it's much closer to the asset. The red is, it's much further. Because it utilizes, we got 1 minute candle, and essentially the period of 10 means that this line, the green one, analyzes the quotes that were coming in through this formula for the past 10 minutes. So we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. This is the amount of information it, kind of runs through this algorithm to be able to determine, to give you a visual representation of what the asset is doing right now in comparison to the past 10 minutes. The red one, it's a little bit smoother because it contains, information of past 20 minutes. So it's got like a bigger picture. And the third one is, bigger even still. And it hardly moves, right? And usually make it kind of like purple, like this. There we go. And it's much further away from the asset because, once again, it considers a past 50 candles worth of statistic. So right now it says that, so what did the moving averages say? So while the asset is above, you keep buying. When it crosses below, you keep, you're essentially selling. That's it. So it's a trending indicator, right? It's got, so, when they're all pointing upwards like they do like right here, yeah, we expect more green candles than red. Once there are crossovers with the 10 crossing the 20, yes, it's a signal that there could be a short-term reversal. We understand that every single time there is a trend, that it's going to go down, retrace, down, retrace, down, retrace, down, retrace. It's going to establish lower highs when the talk is about a negative trend. All right, we can kind of put our resistance level right here, right? So we see a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and finally it broke through. We got a bunch of indicators short term, right? With regards to parabolic, with regards to MACD. Well, the other ones are kind of showing if there's, the ADX got enough inertia. But there was a breakout. There was one candle that kind of came up, and on the other one it started to go back down. We had red bars from MACD to kind of give us a little heads up that yes, that's something that we shouldn't expect to go any further. So, anyways, this is something worth keeping an eye. I absolutely love moving averages, but as I mentioned here, there was a bunch of buy signals, but you can see that the 10 period rate was crossed. It closed here, and essentially that's a buy signal. When it crosses one, there's a buy signal when it crosses the other, well, the situation we can see that when the lines are muddled, right, when they come together, this is the kind of period that I really hate from, to take advantage of the trade. Lines did cross the center line, MACD and signal line crossed the center line right here, and they stayed above. So saying that, yes, it should be going up, but we can see the crosses over here, right? So this was a buy signal, this was a sell signal, but because it's above the center line, we still understand that there's better positioning to open positions, right? To invest during an up signals, not down ones. So here, look how many green candles and relatively the size of them. Here for a sell signal, just a few, and yeah, all right. But here again, a buy signal, boom, 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 boom. Anyway, so the same thing we could say when we're talking about the 10, 20, and 50, kind of being squished together. When they finally cross and open up, and I'm trying to find here with the euro dollar OTC a better signal. All right here we have a sell signal from the moving averages, right? So the 10 was crossed, right? So first of all, it kind of stayed above, kind of touched around, but it finally crossed it, closed below. We got a sell signal from parabolic. We had the crossing over here somewhere with regards to MACD. There was actually a sell signal here from MACD. And the bullish movement right here was kind of like almost like a mini saucer. Another signal from awesome oscillator. Anyways, but it started to lose, right? So I mean, we were starting to see the shift into the negative. There was actually a sell signal here with regards to awesome oscillator. We got a sell signal here from the DIs with regards to the momentum, right? It was kind of dropping, so we wouldn't expect a massive move. But there is another kind of signal with when the 10 and 20 are crossing the 50. All right, so I found out that, in this case with the 1 minute candle, that 10, 20, and 50 give you kind of like a relatively good understanding where the market is going, if it's going to be going, there for a while. So here we had a crossing of the center line, right? The moving average convergence. These are moving averages as well. Moving average convergence divergence. And I think I did tell you guys also that when the asset does, right, kind of like peaks, it goes from here to here. But in this case right here, there's a higher peak and it drops a little bit lower, that the momentum, right, that there is a divergence. You and I can talk about this in greater detail if you touch base with me in Telegram channel. But right now, just to kind of give you an idea. So here we got the crossing of the center line between the MACD and the signal line. We also got the same kind of confirmation when the 10 and 20 are crossing the 50 and all of them start to point downwards, right? So while in this case with MACD, the signal line and MACD line stay below the center line, we are expecting significantly more red candles, right, and new lower highs than green. And trend is your friend. I've been showing this to you guys, and I still haven't gotten that one video where we get this ideal after a trending move, there's a reversal, and like we take advantage in like 20-30 minutes. We open straight every single position with like 2-3 steps martingale. I'm gonna catch it with you guys at some point live, and maybe we can get lucky and do that today. So what do we usually do? We usually select highest paid OTC assets. All right, there we go. Let's see about this. And we start looking, all right, OMR versus CNY. All right, what do we got here? Oh, and by the way, right, so today's essentially, point is to do the alligator. And alligator, it's exactly the same thing. Right now, what we're looking at is that the mouth and, is opening. We got the crossing. We got boost. You know what? I'm going to take a buy position. Oh, yo, that's not good. Oh, that's so not good. Good Lord. Okay, you know what? This is where, I almost had a little mini heart attack. Alright, because I opened the position not the right amount that I wanted. Alright, so we did a buy position actually for a super short trade. How many seconds was it? It was like 7 seconds, and I think that we've done it by the skin of our teeth. So anyways, everything in this situation right now it was pointing up, right? The asset is coming towards the shortest period, right? And I think, what was it, 5? Let's just again confirm. We got ellipse period 5, 8, and 13. So the green one is going to be the most reactive. So if it crosses the green one right now, we could be expecting essentially for it to continue. Parabolic is on the bottom. It says buy. We just got a cross of the center line with the MACD and the signal line. And I would say that it's still, kind of bullish heavy. But we got MACD that seems like it's giving us red bars, and we could see a crossing over here, right, in the near future. So let's see how, the market says that, its ADX is at 20%, so we could potentially say that this is trending. Kind of feel like the candles are kind of on the small side, right? And let's see, I think I'm looking for a second point contact. If we take a look at ATR, we see that the volatility is somewhere middle low, right? So the candles, but I'm not really seeing big candles. I mean, obviously this could be with the, dealing with the fact that we got massive amount of indicators squishing the graph, and but I would say that the volatility is low, so the candles should be small, and I don't like that kind of trading. I don't like winning by half a pip. It doesn't make me feel secure enough. So, right now, OMR, I don't even know what the hell OMR is. Oh my god, but no. Alright, let's take a look at GBP, AUD, OTC. We got kind of like this, like a double top thing here happening. I mean, wait a second, let's take a look. Not too bad, right? Lots of, decent moves, right? Decent moves with lots of, big candles. And we got this kind of like asymmetrical double top. Look, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would be the neckline. Neckline would be like a support level right here, right now. And it seems like if it's going to be going down, chances are it's going to continue to go down. We got across the board, we got decent idea that it should be continuing down. Look, we got a cross. We got a red bars, coming in with regard. There was like a nice saucer right here, right on the second and third bar, right about here. We could have had a good buy signal from awesome oscillator. We got a buy signal from um, parabolic, and so in this case, but it did go higher. But now there we go, second top, and you know what? I'm still going to wait. Why is it for 50? There we go, 36. I'm still going to go for third, for second step martingale for 3, and I'm still going to be selling because right now it still looks like it should continue to go down. So I'm going to lose this one, but we're opening again another one. Why is it for 7 seconds? What the hell? All right, so some not really a issue with son of a bitch. Not issue with the signal, issue with the execution. All right, so we do have a sell signal with MACD. There's a crossing of the zero line. We got awesome oscillator going down to zero. I'm still going to be, selling. It looks like, there we go, parabolic just switched to the top. On this candle, on the previous one, right, we did cross the 10 and the 20. Right, so it looks like right now the 5 or the 10 and 20. I'm sorry, the 5 and the 8 period. So everything right now still points that we should be, considering a sell position. So it's just I have a little bit of a stupid situation because we're looking. Oh God, we're looking at 3 minute clock. Okay, so maybe because it's so late, I'm doing some goofy things here. And we got we got a sell position. So there we go. We were in the money. So I was looking at the wrong kind of graph, but we do have a 1, we got a 2, asymmetrical double top, and on the 3 minute time intervals, we did see a very clear indication that we should be expecting some sells. And actually, I'm not going to be crazy against the idea of continuing to sell. There we go. So with alligator, right, when all of the lines are pointing up, you keep buying. As soon as they start to kind of close down to, cross, there's a sell signal right here. There's definitely a sell signal here, but it was a very quick dip. You can kind of keep an eye out on all of the other indicators to kind of confirm if it's a good idea or not. So any kind of drop, any kind of movement is going to be achieved with steps. So drop side, drop side, drop side, or drop retracement, drop retracement, drop retracement. So we do have, in this case, right, we got this neckline for a double top pattern breaching, and we are expecting it's going to go down a little bit with the retracement and then continue to go down some more, perhaps. I got everything here showing that it could be, but we got green bars over here with MACD. And I would say that I want to be a little bit more patient with regards to the third step martingale. In this case, so I think that we're going to lose this one. But I am going to sell the next one as well. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. It seems like we might win this by the skin of our teeth. But yeah, I do believe that I would have opened for another sell position. We got the ADX rising above 20, right? And the 3 minute time interval just started to go down. That's why I'm still very, very eager, to keep selling. That this is not ideal situation. And remember, I keep saying with the previous videos as well, we need to understand what's the bottom line, what's the other potential of the move. This is the last time it had difficulties breaching a free movement, right? So it bounced, it kind of continued, and now we have this kind of double top, a upward movement, not an asymmetrical like we did from here, boom, 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 going upwards, but we do have a double top pattern now, more traditional. Upward movement meets a particular level of resistance, bounces back, meets it again, bounces back. And that means that if it continues, if that's being the key word here, we do have, kind of an expectation that it should, and once again, my signaling is good. It's just my execution sucky a little bit here. All right, and yeah, it does seem like it could touch this and continue to go downwards to this level. That would be freaking peachy keen, truth be told. But it seems like we got alligator rounding out. It seems like if the asset is going to continue to go upwards, parabolic is going to switch to the bottom. And we're going to have, kind of 4 green bars already from MACD. So I would wait a little bit. I would wait on the second step martingale. I would wait a little bit more until the market presents us with a bit more clear information as to what the hell is going to be going on. So there we go. And there we go. So we got a double buy signal. You know what? Let's take it. Whatever. I didn't have the right to expiration. There we go. Let's take it. On this candle, we have 2 signals. We got parabolic and fractal show up at the same time. Though none of the leading indicators other than MACD, perhaps with the 5 green bars, are hinting that it might be a good idea, right? Everything else is still lacking information. This $3 position or the second step martingale is way too premature. That's why as I keep mentioning, sometimes I take positions just for the sake of action. When truth be told, I think that I would have waited. Here's another thing. Check this out. We got this position right here. And this peak is much lower. Not, I wouldn't say by a lot, but it is lower. If I would draw a line from this cross to this cross, it would be sloping downwards. But if we take a look here, it's sloping upwards. What is this? Divergence. And what the hell, did we make money? Yes, we did. All right, so we lost $2 here. We won $2.76. It was 76 cents in profit. So let's go back to 2. And kind of now I want to wait. So check this out. We got a buy signal from the MACD, good lord, from the alligator, right? The lines. Moving average, convergence, divergence, move. These are moving averages as well. Got a slip of the tongue. All right, but we do see that this green candle kind of crossed the green, the shortest of the periods, the 5. Now it looks like it's going to cross the 5. And it actually looks like it should, could potentially cross what the hell was it? It was the biggest one, the 13, right? So for me, it's kind of very, very raw data when it's that short. The settings are that short. But nevertheless, we got the buy signal. We're going to give a little bit more of a preference to the alligator in our trading today. And we seem like we're doing really good, right? We got the, MACD and MACD line and signal line look like they're about to cross. And we got 3 bars on the awesome oscillator. Though the thing that gets me worried a little bit here is that the ADX is at below, right? It looks like it's dropping. It's below 18 or around 18%. So I'm actually thinking that there is not really. We have like a 1, 2, and on the third one, if it bounced away, that would have been a really good situation. But as is, this is not a resistance level. We might be looking at a second resistance or a second point contact with this resistance level. So we do have a 1, 2, a double top kind of situation. Oh, we opened the position for a buy based on the MACD, the parabolic, and the awesome oscillator, but we do see the ADX says that it's not really a trending move. So this is where another thing. Now, in the patterns, when we take a look at the patterns, at the pictures, we see, right, that there was a top move, there's a boom 1, there's 2, and it's a bearish kind of thing. What I did notice, though, is that there, during these patterns, there is a little bit of a blip, and then it drops significantly. So if we, let's take a look at maybe higher time intervals and go back into the past a little bit, right? So there's a drop, 1, 2, a little bit of a blip before going down, more aggressively. Though right now we got a second saucer potential. If this starts going green and building in momentum, we could see that there is that second, kind of like situation right here. It crossed, and then it starts to go down, 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 and right about here between second and third bar, we could have started buying, and this being each one of these candles being 3 minutes, three 1-minute expirations. For 6 minutes, we would have seen way more. This would have been minimum 4 green candles than red. Anyways, but let's see if we can find some other patterns right here with like double top or head and shoulders or something like this. Whoa. Oh yeah, OTC, that was equalization of the price. Okay. Kind of, I wouldn't say that this is a double bottom, right? Kind of like one, there's top, two, and this like asymmetrical. There's the neckline right here. Alright, so it's been going down for a while. Not ideal situation, but, hardly ever it's ideal. And I would say that right here there was a buy signal, and just a little bit earlier, right? I don't know if you guys see this. Once again, I would love this to be a dialogue instead of a monologue. But there we go. We see that it's been going down for a while from, it's about here, right? Boom. It stopped. It started to go upwards. There we go. And it came back down to almost that level, right? So it's not completely level, but we also see that with this asymmetry, we see there's the neckline, right? So boom, boom, and there's like a buy signal. And in this pattern, the buy signal would have been here. With the other indicators, it says the buy signal is a bit sooner, right here with MACD, right here with MACD, right here with a parabolic SAR. I would say a little bit further, right about here with Awesome Oscillator, where it crossed the zero line. We see the crossing of the positive and negative DI is coming here. All right, and the ADX started to go upwards, but it rose above 20% here. So this was the kind of like a double point. So there's a double bottom, that's your buy signal, but we also see that the ADX finally crossed the 20% and says that yes, there is enough oomph here to keep going upwards. So I would have said that yes, in the money, in the money, in the money, in the money, the hell knows, in the money, even second step martingale. But on this candle, we already see a red one. At the end of this candle, we see a red bar with the MACD. So at that point, we would have been able to, here it says, hey, it's a sell signal from Fractal. If you would have been on the roll and still bought here, probably I would have stopped, actually, as soon as I saw this and waited a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, that's essentially what the patterns really say. But in this case, look, there's one, there's two, it's going, but there was like a little kind of retracement before continuing. And I would say, yeah, there we go. One, two, there's a bit of this ridiculous thing and a retracement. Damn it, I really wish I was here for this time. All right, let's take a look back at 1 minute candles. And yeah, I would say that I would start. I would have wanted to have continued to sell. There we go. But at an earlier position. So yeah, I do believe that there could be a very, very decent negative trend, negative movement based on this pattern. One, two, double top. There's that little blip and continuation. So I'm going to say that, yeah, I'm going to want to continue to be selling. So if we take a look here, we got a cross of the DIs and we got above. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Here it's above 20, right? So we got a slight increase and we got a saucer between second and third candle. We can continue. We also got parabolic on the top. And we got the alligator opening. All of them are pointing downwards. So I would say that I'm very, very confident that even if not this candle, but the next one should be red. And we got a cement. We were streaming live right now to 2 channels, to my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. And in Twitch, there's periodically, spamming. notified my my team, and they'll take care. There we go. Taken care of. All right. Did we make money on this or no? No, we lost, and I yapped too much to have taken an ideal position at the beginning. I should have done that a little bit sooner. All right, there we go. So as you can see, there's nothing really. I mean, our signals are like top notch. When we're patient enough to be able to get this like reverse saucer, we got the ADX kind of climbing a little bit. We got the crossing, the signal line crossing, and it seems like it should be in the money. I'm actually going to, yeah, $3. I'm going to take. I kind of wish that I. No, I'm not going to do the stupid thing where I open multiple positions in the same candle. But it looks like, yeah, we're going to be winning this one as well. It should be winning this one as well. The only thing that we need to be aware is that where it's going to go as well. See, not ideal placement. I should have seen it. So I should stop blabbering and keep a little bit more vigilant. So it's at this point right now, right? The previous time it felt resistance. It's kind of important, right? So this line right here it's a crucial point. So this move could actually bounce off, and it did bounce off this line. There it is. See, it's not an exact science, but exactly what it did. So it bounced away. So I would probably want to wait, except that I see some really good signals from the other indicator saying that it should be going down. But if it breaks through, the next level of interest would probably be here. See, because right there it felt resistance, right here it felt resistance. Going back to 2 and opening a position. Oh, expiration not available. There we go. And yeah, I'm still going to be, I'm still going to be selling a little, maybe for a few more. But as I keep mentioning, this is the point where it's still facing difficulties, right? There it is. It's right here. It's bouncing away. It seems like it doesn't want to break through, but we got ADX growing. We got bars. Actually, if we take one of the indicators that we just also covered not too long ago, momentum, right? The bars are getting bigger, so momentum is there. Inertia of the negative movement is building as well. If we take a look at ATR to hop in, we got volatility at the, I would say, medium-low end. So not the biggest candles, but that might not really be a bad thing. When you go from, and I will go for the next position as well. When you go from here to here in one candle, you're kind of naturally expecting a pullback. If you go from here in like 2-3 pip movements, you're able to open like maybe 2-3-4 positions and all of them be in the money. From here, I would say somewhere this is the next level of interest after, then maybe this the lowest point. So I don't think that it's going to go to, actually to this point. However, this is kind of another interesting aspect to the patterns. If we kind of gauge that what, hold on, let me actually just copy it, one moment. There we go. What is the size of this negative move can we expect? I would say this is potential. Alright, so $3, and let's go to the next one and open a retracement. All right, unless, okay, so now, there we go, wait a second. So it's still, and I'm actually going to copy this again. Check this out. We do have a resistance level like this. There we go. And if we extend it, we could see that it's going to, that it's going up very aggressively. We got some green bars. We got 2 green bars with the ADX. We got a potential for a cross, but this would be a very, very strong point of resistance. So, and it actually went here very, very quickly. I would go as far as venture a 4th step martingale. And say that, wow, actually it's going to go, there we go, parabolic is on top. All right, so are we opening another position for a buy? Man, I would actually think that it should go down further significantly, but it looks like it could, though once again, I'm very, very hesitant on that. You know what? I'm going to hold off on this 1875. And I'll tell you why. Again, right at this point, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 7th minute, it reached from this point down to here. And it took like 3 minutes, or actually 2 minutes to go all the way back up to this point right here. So I would actually think that it should be retracing downward a little bit right now. All right, so GBP AUD is, kind of does provide really good volatility, good involvement from clients right now. It's crossing. It seems like it should be going up, but we got ADX dropping. That's what I'm not. That's why I'm going to be waiting maybe another few minutes to see if we got another saucer situation. All right, so we had a sell signal here from Awesome Oscillator, and we had this kind of like a retracement upwards, and there was this potential for this to continue to go. Well, we did take advantage of some of these candles. We were in the money. So it just out of nowhere, I actually thought that the more people would be reacting to the double top situation, and usually the longest move between one of the tops, it's after the breakout of from the neckline. That's the potential that it can go down to. We had these crossing of the lines right here. The center line with the MACD would cross, the signal line and the MACD line cross the center line, the zero line, I should say. There we go. And it's still below. Remember that it's going to go up, but I would start selling during, trend is your friend, and we could say that this was kind of like a false breakout, right? So if it's going to continue to go down, I would probably open a sell position here much more eagerly than a buy position. Remember I said that, right? So when the asset crosses the center line, the MACD crosses and the signal line cross the center line, and we do have buy signals, it's because that, there are pullbacks during the trending move, right? So here it's a buy signal. Yes, you would have made money, but on the sell signal right here, it was, also dropping significantly lower. Buy signal in MACD, yes, you would have made money, but on the sell signal, you would have made more, right? So we're still waiting. I'm gonna kind of wait a little bit. We gotta, the MACD and the positive and negative DIs also crossing for a sell. If this crosses the green, if this crosses the center line and continues to go upwards, it's a buy signal. But I'm still kind of in the mood to believe that it should be going downwards, that we're looking at a saucer potential. Just based on the patterns and based on an unrealized move. However, this is OTC. This is like, driver's ed, where not everybody follows the rules of the road. And so while the lines are still below the center line, the signal line and the MACD line, while they're below the center line, I see the asset. It did cross the 5 and the 8, but it didn't cross the 13, even though 13 is very, very short period, small period. Alligator's got its mouth closed right now, and all right, so it's crossing the zero line. There's a buy signal, but look at ADX. It's at 14%. This doesn't have a momentum yet. So right, we had a very kind of goofy situation where in one expiration, I opened two positions. So I lost this and I opened the second one, but then I opened the third positions thinking that this particular very, very fast and large movement is going to be followed by a retracement. Right, but alligator shows that the mouth is closed. And right now, I mean, I'm gonna stick with the GBP AUD with you guys till the end of the stream, which is gonna be in a couple of minutes. But maybe we'll open another position. So today we're definitely in profit. All right, so there we go. There was the macro statistic. We made money. Then, oh God forbid, I opened based on a good signal, we opened a very large amount, which shouldn't have been the case. But yeah, we're well in the money today. So, this is exactly what we want to see. Not ideal statistic, but we did ride a train, right? Boom, 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 right here. We do smart money management, and it seems like it's almost not worth opening the fourth position unless we get a banging signal. Right now, what makes me worried is that the ADX is, dropping significantly, so the asset is probably going to be ranging. And this is something that we can probably expect somewhat like this, perhaps. So for now, it's still ranging. It bounced, kind of came outside here a little bit. Bounced, came back in. Not all the way to the top, but it seems like it's in the middle of this, and it's got no... Let's see, it didn't really cross the zero line. It's starting to build a negative momentum, perhaps. And as I mentioned, if I get a sell signal, another, we'll take another swing at the sell. Right now, it probably is a little bit too early. I don't know, I think it's a little bit too early still. We got a sell signal from the crossing of the DIs. We got MACD or ADX kind of leveling off. We got this building here. We got second, red bar, but it's not a signal yet. Alligator starts to point down. And I kind of want to, all right, the hell with it. Wait a second, the hell with it. Let's say if we don't make money in this position, we're still ending the stream. We're ending the stream though with in the money, not in the red, and we're still going to be, picking up tomorrow with an employment statistic from United States. We're going to continue to evolve your technical analysis as well. And I really hope that you guys will, tell your friends, get in here during these streams, where we can talk live together and, once again, to discuss some of these aspects of trading. And I can show you guys that this is possible and that you, based on logical application of math to your statistics. No luck. Just a little bit of patience. All right, there we go. We're in the money. We're in the go. All right. Anyways, let's close this up. Let's close shop. No, wait a second. I always like to leave. I don't know. I got this like unusual loyalty. Wait a second. Euro USD. Unusual loyalty to the euro dollar. Anyways, all right. Good stream, good money making, and tomorrow we're going to continue. Hopefully our 100% success rate continues, but over 2 months, that's already an incredible statistic. So keep an eye out on the following videos. Keep an eye, take a look at the previous videos that are posted in the channel on Twitch, on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and talk to me. I want you to make money. Giving you a little bit of red pill with the Morpheus, the truth about how all of this works, and you will see that you can do it too. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.